Have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do most of these videos on whenever I get started. I mean, a lot of times I've got like some kind of an idea. I've done a little bit of research, I've pulled up some tabs, but when I start to by the time I'm done, sometimes I am so sidetracked. So, um, if you like to just join the ride, and never know where down the rabbit hole you may end up. Welcome. Grab a cup of comfort and let's see what we can find today. I have been sprinkling research in here and there on various different topics lately, but it has actually been raining in Northwest Oklahoma. Well, while Eastern Oklahoma is flooded, um, which happens to them regularly. They're practically swamp. Okay. Um, Northwest Oklahoma has been in a drought for nearly 20 years. I'm stretching it just a little bit there. Okay. But it we haven't had a muddy, really wet season since the Greensburg tornado up in Kansas. In what was that, 2007, right? That was the last really wet season that we really had. Okay. We've been basically having another Dust Bowl out here. And so, but it has been raining for the last week or so, off and on. And we've been, if you can call it rain, through the haze and the muck of the, you know, ice crystals that over our heads and whatnot. If you're new here, I'm being sarcastic, okay? Um, but and if you go look at some of my other stuff, then you'll see my husband has a p900, so he takes pictures of things, ice crystals and curvature and things like that. That yes, and 93 million mile away sunspots and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we can't call it real water rain sometimes. You just kind of wonder when you can light snow on fire the last few years, you wonder what the rain actually is. And some people have been getting the rain tested and they get censored for showing the results of those tests. So there's that. Um, but we have had moisture, okay? I have green things growing around my house and actually in the garden at this point. Yay! I think the chives have all died. Artisan Bard. I think the chives decided not to make it. Why? The I went and visited one of my subscribers and she sent me home with some crochet stuff and some seeds and plants. And the walking Egyptian walking garlic is okay. It at least some of it that I planted, it's up, it's pretty, it's beautiful, it's attempting to do its thing. Right now it's surrounded by uh carrots and radishes, I think. But the chives decided not to. And somebody had sent me some seeds for those spreading chive thingies. You can tell green thumb, not my part of the homesteading thing. So you want homesteading people who can garden? I'll show you my greenhouse. I'll show you my tower garden. I'll show you what we've got. It's real. It's not pretty. I had somebody pop up in my feed recently, as a matter of fact, that was saying, can somebody just show me the homestead that isn't pretty? Because all these people have got these like Pinterest perfect homestead things going on. I can show you the not pretty part of homesteading. Okay. I'm fifth generation. We've been doing this for eons. No, it's if you don't have a whole lot of money to sink into pretty, it's not going to be. And a green thumb, I do not have. And I do have house plants. Okay. I've got um geraniums and ivies and so for some reason I can do some house plants, not a whole well, I don't know. I've got quite a few. I like having the jungle in the house. I'm a homebody. I'm the homesteader who likes to sew, knit, crochet, and craft and repurpose items and, you know, hippie paint my door. So, which I'm going to do the front door here pretty soon. So, and I'm going to do it in different colors. I did the back door. If you find that video, I haven't figured out how to put those little thingies up here. I'm slow whenever it comes to the whole creator bit. Um, and honestly, sometimes YouTube just won't even let me. Just won't even let me do. It's like, well, I want to put end cards on here so I can let you guys know what at least the last video I was talking about where it's at, right? And sometimes it won't even let me do that. It's like it's a thing. It's a thing. Okay, we're going to screen share. Did you want to give a little bit of input here? I don't have anything specific. Hunky Hubby is he walked in after I started the video. I mean, if you want to give me a card, I'll pop them up and we'll see what I'm going to do a little bit of screen share and talk about a couple of things that I do happen to have up here. I've got some things in the works, but the today it's been over 2 weeks since I've done a video. I apologize. I am going to make a commitment with you guys, okay? Listen to this and keep me accountable, all right? I will, I'm going to give myself a little bit more realistic expectations, and I'm going to get a video out every other week. So by Friday, every other week, there will be a video. Oh, he's alive. Some of our younger adults in the house get up later. They are night owls like their father. So anyway, uh so I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing more on the creatures, the mythological creatures, because that's fun. That's fun. I am going to be doing more on some of the Oklahoma architecture that probably people don't know as much about, out here in the boonies and things. I'm hoping to make it to some of the parks and things so I can show you. We have a bunch of rock formations out here that are called like Indian Head, Sleeping Indian, things like that, that I want to go and actually get for you guys. We've got an area east of us that looks like mini Egypt. It looks like the left, that is my washing machine. If you guys would say a little prayer for it because it's having a hard time. There's really nothing in it for it to be throwing fits like that, but the balancing is not it's she's tired of us. She's wanting to move on to the next world. Um but anyway, we've got an area out here that looks like it's got sphinxes and stuff. Okay. So I do want to get some of that. I hate that drive out there, but I do want to get that. Uh So, and I don't like going to Eastern Oklahoma. I personally don't like going to Eastern Oklahoma. There's a lot of interesting things in Eastern Oklahoma, but with interesting things come interesting things, if you know what I mean. Anyway, the the Viking ruins, I'd like to go visit the Viking ruins and, explore that area a little bit. So if you're a subscriber and you would like to meet me at one of these places at some point in time, let's get together. Um, I have the group, ta-da, Prairie Desk group. So there's a link in my bio and should be in the description and all of that. This is a free group. It is on my own platform. It is uncensored. It is for women only. If you are a man and you're feeling isolated and need somebody to talk to, then please email me. My email is in my description stuff. You can find it over there. Or message me on social media. I'm in all the different places. And I will connect you with my husband so you can visit with him. But this right now is women. We talk about Bible. Of course, everything in my life is surrounded by our Creator. Health, holy days, homemaking, homeschool, homestead. If you happen to have a business, we have a marketing collaboration thing, and I let you talk about your business. And, if you've got cool stuff, sell it to us. Okay. Prepping, tin hat topics. Of course, I don't want to be spammed, but, you know, especially if it's like homemade stuff and things, that's awesome. But I've got a couple of people in here that have essential oils and cleaning products and, healthy, good stuff. So anyway, join us. We would love to have you, and you come in here. And then if you're in a certain area or you're going to be coming to Oklahoma at some point in time, or if you're in Oklahoma and you'd like to meet me somewhere, or the Texas Panhandle, southwestern Kansas, somewhere out here, I would love to work that out and see you guys in person. I'm not a peoply person. I'm a homebody, but sometimes even not peoply persons need to get out in peoply person. Hopefully that makes any sense at all. Anyway, this morning, Bible Gateway. This is my homepage. Whenever I pull up the internet, it comes up with the Bible. Okay. And well, if you know me, you know me. If you don't, you will soon. Okay. So, Psalm 56:4, in God I will praise his word. In God I have put my trust. I will not fear what flesh can do to me. And before you put in the comments, it's not God. Yes, I know Yahweh, Yahuwah, Jehovah, whatever. Yeah, the great I am, our creator. Okay. You don't need to put that in the comments. People call me Dawnita, Dawnita, Dawnetta, all kinds of things. As long as you're calling me for dinner, I'm okay, right? So if he wanted us to have a cohesive name and pronunciation that we were going to call him across all languages since the Tower of Babel, he would have made it be so. He didn't. And we know that God is not his word. That's, is not his name. And Lord is not his name. We get that. Okay. So, because there's always somebody. And this is be Elohim. Anyway, Elohim. Because of some of that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I pulled it up over here in the lexicon, Bible Hub lexicon, and I just type in Bible Hub lexicon and then the verse. Okay. And so I was wondering about word here, okay, was the one that I was really, so in God, whose word I praise, in God, I have put my trust. I shall not be afraid of what men can do to me. And this is a big thing is I'm basically a prepping coach. I want to help you be prepared for, the inevitable storms of life and disasters that happen and be prepared for heaven, right? So, that's what I basically help people do is be prepared here on earth, whether it's, end of life preparations or, starting the garden and whatnot. And while I don't have a green thumb, I try to help connect you with people who do and can help you with that. The best thing is even if you don't have the space for a garden, even if you are in an apartment, start some sprouts. Start some sprouts, okay? Please support the local farmers market, start some sprouts, do that thing. And as a matter of fact, I'm just going to say this. As a matter of fact, go to the farmers market, get to know those farmers, and then start visiting them at their farms or meeting them somewhere else because the farmers market has been taken over. The Chamber of Commerce and the Schmishmations have basically taken over the whole farmers market thing. So I don't like going to the farmers market. I hardly ever go to the farmers market. Not that we have one like in our backyard real close by, or we have to drive forever to go to anything out here. But I get to know the farmers. Like I know the beekeeper, two local beekeepers, as a matter of fact, and I get honey directly from them. I don't go to the farmers market to do that. I do go to craft shows and things like that, and I'll get things, Ren fairs, medieval fairs, craft shows, flea markets, stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. I'll meet them at those places and get homemade items and stuff like that. But I try to get to know them locally. I would love to get bees at some point in time, but I have been waiting for the rainy season to come, and so that it's not another flopped project, right? Anyway, we were looking up the word here, and I'm not going to. So it's based on Dabar, Dabar. Okay. Anyway, matter, word, matter, thing, speech, command, promise. Interesting. Okay, and we know Mr. Strong was a schmishmation. So we're going to take him with a grain of salt, right? So let's go down here to the brown driveway. And I don't know if they were schmishmations or not, probably if they're on here, but okay, singular speech, discourse, saying that which is spoken of men, word of command, message, report tidings. Request, promise, charge, complaint, decision, sentence, theme, story, word of God. Then the word of Yahweh came. Yahweh confirms, saying utterance of men in due season, title of writings, chronicles, name of work, business, occupation. That's interesting. Acts, construct, matter, affair, events, things, cause, saying, way, manner, reason, cause. Interesting. Topical lexicon. To speak or to declare, to confirm or establish. Contradiction, dispute, answer, book, scroll. These are all the ways that it has kind of been, or the things that correspond in the Greek. Yes. Word, saying, voice. Cut there. But I think it's interesting that matter and thing got put in there because the word of God is living and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword. And this is why I say on a regular basis that the word of God is multidimensional, right? So when you're taking and looking at like the prophecies and stuff, they had a meaning for those people at that time. They had a meaning pretty immediately after that. And then they have a meaning and application for us today. So this isn't a difference of translation. This isn't a difference of interpretation. This is just the nature of him and his word. Okay. So, anyway, I just wanted to kind of go into that. Now, something that I have been doing this year is reading a book series. I have moved past the 17 book series, the Elemental Origin series by L. I don't know if this is Knorr or Knorr, but I, I would love to sit down with her and talk to her because she is either awake or surrounded by awake people, or she's aware because she's in the shmishmation circles. Okay. So these books are fun. She has a ton of them. A ton of them. First of all, they're clean. I would not suggest them for young people. I'm a little persnickety about what my children read before, you know, they were adults. So even my 18-year-old, I wouldn't necessarily suggest her reading them. Not by herself anyway. They're not, there's nothing bad. It's just some of the romantic, intimate stuff, while it's clean, it is hinting to things that I just don't think they need that information. Okay. If you've got one that's more mature or that's already married or whatever, then it would probably be fine. But I don't like to awaken romance and intimacy stuff in my young people. I like to let it awaken on its own. So, uh, anyway, I've been reading these on the I think this actual series, it was like an all-in-one on Kindle that came on Kindle Prime is how I got started with it. I love that kind of stuff. Uh Either that or I got it for really cheap, but it is on Kindle Unlimited, and she's got a ton. So I'm in the process of reading this one right here now. I've read this one. Um, let's see. I haven't read that one yet. I haven't read those two yet. But I've read this one. That was really good. That was the last series set that I read. Um, and then I've read this one. Very good. So, I mean, and I've read this one. Okay. So the little tidbits of truth that are in these is amazing. Plus, the stories are fun. The stories are fun. I have found that there's some editing things that should have been caught. And especially, she's got so many books out. I don't know who she's using for editing, but her editing team needs to go back and polish a few things. But it's not that bad. Okay. It's just in a few places I found some inconsistencies from book to book. And I'm going through and reading these like, I can't remember if I started before the first of the year or after the first of the year, but this is what I've been basically reading this year. Uh, she discusses, of course, where some of this stuff could be coming from, right? One of these is called something about the ether, and it talks about the ether, or aether, yeah, ether, however you want to, the ether. It goes into some of the Japanese lore, different lore from around the world, and folklore and stuff, right? And it talks about some of the architecture, underground tunnels. I mean, she goes into like, yeah, even a dome and talking about the theory behind how a dome would work on a plane. And I mean, there's just tidbits in here. The original series, she did actually have some Bible verses, and she does have Bible themes uh, throughout here and there, sprinkled in. They're not Christian books. I don't know if she is a believer or if she's just aware of some of this stuff or if she's just playing off of it because it's interesting. I have no, like I said, I would love to talk to her. I would love to talk to her. Anyway, she has a website. Um, she's got a lot of stuff. I kind of just intend to keep reading until I lose interest or have read them all. It's, I've really enjoyed them. I have really enjoyed them. They've been a lot of fun. They've had themes in them that I'm interested. See, here's the Born of Ether. And talking about angels and things. Very, the Born of Air was really good. These are just, these are good. These are, they are a lot of fun. They're just, yeah, I've been really enjoying it. Sometimes you just need some, off the cuff fun, and having those little tidbits of truth in there has been wonderful. Let's see. I'm working on I'm working on the magazine, and I've got a goof in one of my pages. So if you go to subscribe to the magazine, then it's going to you'll be able to, but there's some issues with some of the other stuff that I've got in there. It'll work, but I've got them working on it. IT is working on things. Anyway, I've got some samples of some of the uh, articles from the magazine that we've had. I just have not had enough coffee today, and I'm already on my third cup, I think. It's terrible. Anyway, we have some samples in here, and we talk about everything from, food to homesteading, raising animals, to uh, touching on some politically type things, gardening, and historical stuff. So it's a lot of fun. You can get to the group from here, prairie-trail.com. This will take you to the free group where you can join. So if you can't find it otherwise, um, yeah, yeah, and of course I've got some books, there's some courses, there's a membership. So if you want like transcripts of videos and some of my research notes, and we've got PDFs, and there are tons of PDFs because the Wayback Machine is they're starting to wipe the Wayback Machine. So whenever I find some really good, interesting information, I download it into an external hard drive to save it, print as PDF type of thing, if you want to do that. And then I upload it into the membership so that we've got things backed up, right? There's a bunch of stuff that's not available anymore. Or is really, really hard to find at this point, that I wish I had been doing this a long time ago. So anyway, and then I have a newsletter. Um, if you sign up for that, then you get a free, like, prepping, dealing with disaster type of, it's beyond prepping. It's not like how to pack your go bag. It's kind of beyond that. Whenever the inevitable happens, how you deal with those things in the process. So it helps get you started. Um, so anyway, that's kind of what we've yeah, what I've been doing lately. I've just been it's been rainy, sleepy weather. The barometric pressure has been going boop, 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 boop. And I've been feeling a little nutty and just sleepy, tired, you know, and trying to take care of, behind the scenes stuff on the website and things like that. So, uh-huh. Yeah. So sitting, all I want to do is sit down and curl up with a book. And these have been a lot of fun. I have to admit, there's been a few 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning things that, yeah, I'm not generally a night owl, but yeah, pray for Hunky Hubby because he's poor guy. Yeah, poor guy. Anyway, that's kind of my update for now. If you have something specific that you would like, I think this art is just so pretty. Um, if you have a something specific that you've got questions about or something, oh, you do have. Oh, I was fixing to wrap up. You've got some stuff. Okay. Well, bonus part two. Two. There it goes. All right. Let us stop share. He's got some p900 photos. Team, this one.
Uh,
Working.
yeah.
Okay.
I go to
All of these are
well, I that no, that one's kind of long. Yeah, no, that 108.
this one.
Yeah, I'll go, can't go to different.
Well, okay. Oh, these are okay. Well, in order to show, I need to just kind of I need to just kind of do it this way and just go through them.
Oh, that right there.
Well, hold on, they can't see it yet.
Oh.
Just a minute, just a minute. I've got to.
Funny.
It is. That's interesting. I think I shared this in the community on YouTube. Okay. All right. So this is a couple of power lines.
No.
Oh, is it not?
No.
Okay. What is it? What is it? I'm sorry.
That was an entity that was modified Elon Musk.
That's not power lines?
No. That was the other night. That
Yeah, I know what it was.
Astronomical.
So were these ice crystal lines?
No, that was we'll just say that was like what's the, kind of the more that's common that they tell you Elon Musk and his
the Skylink
free internet to everybody in Africa, what
I don't know.
Starlink.
Starlink.
And that is a modified Starlink. It was floating by, wicked looking thing. And
this was it moving?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was.
So this was like a drone or something moving.
Weird.
Interesting.
I mean, you're gonna start seeing more and more trash and that's
I thought this was arcing through the okay.
LED-ish, ghostish looking, blue beam derived.
Okay.
Weird.
Okay.
Weird.
Okay.
I mean, just be aware, people, or anybody.
Yeah. These are saying like that was May 16th. This one's May 17th. So I'm gonna just kind of blip through.
I don't know. Most of them should be kind of newish.
This is May 17th. So
oh, good. Here. Hopefully, it will get to which one was this one kind of date wise. Not
May 17th, as far as I'm concerned.
And I'm sorry, this is real live. I mean, if there's audio going, you'll hear me talking.
No, I've got it muted. I've got it muted. They don't need to hear you grouching at the camera and the.
Some of these are really hard to get. I mean, it's not hard to get the.
And this is the sun, right?
Yes, this is the sun. This is clouds. That's clouds moving, not. And of course, I'm moving too. Of course, I may not get too much. There we go. There's your 93 million mile away sunspots.
Yep.
It was, and I don't have the $66 million a day gifted to me to NASA.
That's okay.
Um,
The P900 does well.
and the clouds and the so like I said, it's clouds moving from the moon. Yeah, me too, trying to get find the sun. The glare gets pretty tough sometimes.
P-Doc? Anyway, he tries in between. I mean, we have had some like clouds lately, or what you would call clouds, because it has been rainy the last few weeks. Um, but even whenever it looks like it's clear, quote unquote, which is it ever anymore, then it's still really hazy, and he's having to cut through a lot of stuff to try to, because it glares off of the stuff that's hanging in the air in the process of trying to focus in on things. So he grumbles with it. Grumbles with it. Definitely. We kind of had quite the conversation in the group recently about suspicious observers and what he does, and how Paul can get just about as good a footage sometimes with his P900 just standing here in the dirt in Oklahoma compared to what they supposedly get from those satellites, right? So he didn't like watching the videos, but he'll he'll keep an eye on suspicious observers thumbnails and stuff, and see what terrible catastrophes he's talking about. And you know and if you're concerned about the grid going down, um it's bound to happen one of these days, right? It's just bound to happen one of these days. So, you know, I've got quite a bit that can help you be prepared for those situations, both in the free group, if you subscribe to the newsletter, things like that. So, uh, the whole idea is we need to have community of the remnant to help us, so we're not. I mean, one of the things that I like about, what him and some of the other ones will say is, don't be scared, be prepared, right? And that doesn't mean just like stocking up on everything and burying it in the backyard, but preparing ourselves spiritually as much as anything is the most important. We need to be resilient so that when this stuff hits, no matter how prepared we are, it can still be devastating. So, and we had prepared for Y2K and whatnot. And, we had people in the community giggling at us and stuff. But when the fires in 2017 hit out here, and millions of acres were burned between Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, and Colorado, and hardly anybody heard about that. You don't remember it, do you? Never heard about that on the news or anything. That we learned really quick that the things that we had stocked up and the things, didn't they would have been not. They would have been not. It would have been really hard to have anything left from that. Um, and just as soon as you paint everything bright blue, and they're going to change the way they do that, right? Had some interesting weather out here. We had a beautiful storm come through. I'm not afraid of, I've never been afraid of tornadoes or anything like that. I've always slept better whenever there's been tornadoes. So plain storms don't have never bothered me. I have a healthy respect, but I I'm not afraid. And we had a storm go through the other day that had several funnels. Nobody was hurt, praise the Lord, but it was still daylight, so a lot of people got some really good footage of the cloud formations and the tornadoes that were kind of coming down, weren't really hitting the ground necessarily, but just giving us a show the other day. For Oklahomans, that's exciting stuff. Is the 18th. So we're just all of these have been just within a few days time. Let's see. Yeah. Oops. We want to make sure we stop there. He takes video and photos nearly every morning and every evening. So, and I've been trying to, rather than, because I was trying to do like a monthly of this stuff, and it was just hard to figure out a time to sit down with him and go through these. So I've started just posting in the community tab photos that he takes occasionally. And I'm trying to get him to upload these videos onto his TikTok. So it would be easier for me to download the videos and share them individually. But I haven't got him trained to do that. So still working on it, trying to get a boomer to do things like this. It took forever to get him from a flip phone to a smartphone. And he likes it now, but he's still a little averse to using some of the tech. I mean, I'm Gen X and I still have to have the children help me with some of the stuff, right? It just, yeah, that's the way it is. Still working on things, just going through.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I hope people can see the boats of NASA.
They can.
I mean, that cloud there. Pretty sky, but
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That it.
see.
I'm surprised you're able to get what you can. You can see that little flag. That
Yes,
little
on
flag
that.
there. Yeah, that Land Rover. Or is that on Mars?
That's all of them.
Oh, okay. They got it everywhere. Hmm.
I think that one came out with trying to give other stuff.
You would know how to Photoshop for the, and I don't like Photoshop.
That a
So,
was
are those the ones that are 70 some odd miles
80,
away?
70 to 90 miles. Yeah.
Yeah, between 70
Yeah,
and
but
90 miles away.
dirty sky.
I mean, you can really tell the curvature going on
Yeah.
here. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
The last
Definitely
night's
see the
pictures
curvature.
was
There you go, from unfocused to you didn't even hardly have to zoom in.
no, I know. Well, last night was awesome. You could see them with your physical
Oh,
eye.
really? Now don't start giving people directions to
That's
our
about
house.
the moon.
It was fuzzy.
I know.
I'm just clicking through.
That's
Otherwise, we'd be here all day.
that's kind of
Well, you're doing the best you can. So nobody's complaining. And if they complain, they can just complain. Oh, I'm sure no, we'd have to say something interesting if we wanted people to actually get in here and okay. They'll complain more about the Bible than they were about these images.
out of focus.
Yeah, well, it happens. I don't know how you get what you get. My eyes would be all
See that
crossways trying to do
that
this.
bluish, well, ish. Look at there, 236,000, 230.
However far, 33, 3, 3, 3, right? And those are like 30,000 feet high, right? Or what is it that they're,
Yeah, most of
I
them.
mean, it's all the same numbers.
I
It's all
know,
the
roughly
same
30,
numbers.
36, 30.
Governor had a Twitter thing this morning and it was like, it had 303 views on it or comments or something. I didn't even go in there. I'll let the
Yeah.
blue-haired people hate on him. Oh well. They see the real thing. You're getting it off the whole kit and caboodle here. I know somebody on TikTok saying that, people want real life. They want your messy matted hair and to see you in your moo. So I bookmarked her and I'm gonna have to do a video in my moo. And I've done the messy hair videos before. My hair it's got a mind of its own anyway, so it's not unusual for me to have Einstein hair going on in some of my stuff.
Some of that I'm trying to get an idea of
Neat the way it looks like rolling across the ground.
the dirty sky and then, but there's ring from landmarkish areas out here and out of focusnesses. And I'm trying to focus or trying to talk the camera into focusing. Oh, somewhere there is a couple. Should have aircraft going across in front of them. So I'm not sure. Now that is atmosphere. That's not solar flaring or nothing like that. That's atmosphere. And boy, when it gets the moon over as it's waning and the sky being nasty, it's tough to get.
So did Mike Decker actually quit, or is he? I thought I heard you.
Well, he
Yeah.
hasn't actually. He just said people, and I understand because people don't seem to really care. But
I think there's
people
more
don't
people
care
that
anyway.
care. I think a lot of the people that do care just don't take time to comment. There's the bug.
It's my bug.
I keep telling him
That's my
every time
bug.
he calls it his bug, I'm gonna put
Yeah,
more
it's
flowers
my
on it.
bug.
I need to get some more
Take my
flowers.
redhead lawns around down in which do child. Clouds was moving pretty good that day.
Still got some sunspots in there.
Focus, focus. I was saying that to the camera too.
I'm sure you were. Several sunspots in there on that one. And it's white instead of yellow.
Well, it has always been white. It since the sky is so
Still,
messed up,
everything's got that
it makes it messed up.
neon blue LED haze anymore. No, it's still there. I'm just moving over here. Oh, there's a lot.
You can fast forward. And see, it's not even halfway zoomed in. And sometimes when you're looking straight up, kind of, sort of, makes it tough. Not impossible, but
Well, I'm sure not out there doing it, so I'm not going to complain.
wasn't at that point, wasn't real spotty.
Well, I mean, there's several there.
Um, get more into yesterday. It's a little more spotty yesterday. Look at that. Look at that sky. As that lady said, we're getting used to it.
Yeah, we're getting used to the haze. Mm.
Now, some of that too is trying to show that it really, some people trying to say, that it does not really get smaller as it's
Going away.
going away. It stays the same size. There is a little more atmospheric lensing, if that's what you want to call it.
Well, before between perspective and yeah, atmospheric stuff going on.
See, it was pretty light as far as oops, did you do that or did you? Really, I didn't quit it.
Well, it might not have, but you've got 150,000 of these, and it's going to be a 3-hour video if I don't try to buzz through. I mean, if it was important one, I can go back to it, but you've got a
Well, you can
lot.
trying to get it to fun to watch an aircraft go across. There's a bird.
Mhm.
Actually, that was just another satellite that was floating by.
Oh, hmm.
It got into the way of the SDO,
Oh,
trying to readjust.
see, I told you.
What?
I told him you the whole conversation with us. So
Oh,
I mean, I didn't tell him about the whole conversation, but that we were having conversations in the group and stuff about your favorite YouTuber.
No, I have no quibble against him at all. I mean, if that any, but all my heroes. I mean, my twin brother Arnie, and
Well, I think he's got something with the plasma thing, right? But wow, definitely don't think it's a ball of nuclear, whatever, you know. So I have to agree with him on that. Don't think that's what's going on. Oh,
I don't know if this is a more morning time, and I like to the you can. It's hard to explain. As it progresses through the day, the sunspots, since
yeah,
the sun is
rotate.
stationary, I mean it and it as it
Since
moves.
the sun is not stationary and it's
Well, it
moving
is stationary. It is. It's at
around.
12,
It,
but the firmament as it moves, it,
okay.
and the spots, kind of go
Yeah,
along
they
with the
look like they're
face.
rotating as it's going around us.
But then on NASA picture, they just show you these massive sunspots that are the size of the Earth
Mhm.
times 20 times 33. And
And as we are rotating, it looks like
no, they actually, I mean, it says, anyway.
it doesn't say we're rotating, it says we're rotating.
Well,
They
yeah,
say we're
but
rotating.
sun, they say stationary, but
No, I know. They say, I know. Then, and the reason that it looks like the sunspots are rotating around is because we are rotating around, is what they say. Yes, we know. And when people do leave comments, it's like they don't think that we had the same science classes and stuff that they had. It's like I was having this conversation on Twitter with this one, and she's like, "Well, it works this way, this way, and this way." I'm like, "Do you not think I had the same science classes that you had?" And she's like, "Well, I have a telescope and I can see." And I'm like, "Do you not think I have a telescope? I have several telescopes. Plus a lot of this stuff we can see with the camera. We don't even need, or binoculars. You don't even need a fancy telescope to be able to see this." But they think for some reason that we don't have the same access to the same information that they've got. People took a ton.
we'll go more down.
I'm just, hold on a second. That was the 25th.
That was
Around the 25th. I mean, you take a dozen pictures a day or more. So there's a lot. So we've gotten from the 17th to the 25th. And this will go all the way up to yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if that's yesterday.
no, we're not even. Oh, the eagles.
Baby.
Baby eagles. Oh, put stupid wind generators around here and kill the eagles. Oh, there's the parents. Oh, cool. Um,
Hand an eye on her.
oh, okay.
It's a family affair there.
Yeah, got the babies over there and the parents over there. Oops. Wah! Come on. Be out of the way. Oh, that cute. Love that. Need some happy family pictures. We don't want to think about the sky right now. We're just going to enjoy the eagles. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad they've had success this year. That's awesome.
He
That's a
had
pretty
taken
good
off.
one. Cool. That's not cool.
Still see the
That's cool.
antennae there on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. You don't have to go through them ones if you don't want to.
How they playing? Ah. Mm, about ready for lunch. Well, I yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I did not blip through most of them. Most of them we played through, and I did not see it. So I don't know when the aircraft went by, but well, I'm not purposely skipping over it.
No, I know I'm not. I just they're just and then trying to place where the aircraft is. Sometimes I get a chance to
West
grab
flight
them.
radar.
Yeah,
We're getting close. Well, I was popped up. You can see pretty good.
yeah.
27th. Oh, Tuesday. But we need satellites to be able to monitor this stuff.
Okay.
I mean, absolute necessity to be spending.
$66 million.
Yeah. This is the 27th. So a lot. And mm,
I mean, trying to get it, what the hardest time to focus, hardest time trying to catch the skyish, uh, along with the, I mean, terrible nasty.
yum. Oh, yeehaw. That makes a person feel really good whenever you see that stuff. And then for the next several days afterwards. But we've got states that are outlying this. Yeah, they don't have jurisdiction at that height.
They don't have jurisdiction in nothing.
And they don't have jurisdiction over the military that do it. And yeah, the FAA, they do. That is just political posturing whenever they're doing those, putting through those bills. If they even make it all the way through and get signed by governors, it's not going to make a hill of beans because the states have no jurisdiction over the air that high. None.
Not
If
even,
they have any.
not even really. As far as your government's concerned, we're too high into the air.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we are not of the,
We breathe too much. We toot too much. We, yeah. I think 4, 40. Mhm. I don't know how his neck can handle it, honestly. One in the clouds. Now
that,
that's the storm.
that was the storm. I didn't
Yeah.
get the first sliver of the moon because of that.
It was lovely. It was just absolutely lots going on the other night.
and I couldn't get good. I mean, it's sad. Couldn't get good pictures.
Oh, everybody's doctoring the pictures that they're sharing. Ah, good grief. They're doctoring them.
Okay, that
Yeah,
yeah.
these things here sometimes they will actually rotate like a
I mean,
sideways
it's you could see it.
tornado.
You could see it better, but it's like coming out of that. I know you can't see my
Out
finger,
of
but
here.
cloud over here. But it was hard to tell.
Yeah, we've actually
And
had those over the top of our house where this was rotating, just going across.
it was
Very
sad it didn't get any
interesting.
good. I'm sure hoping that couldn't get any good lightning pictures. Sorry. Now on this, if you note, this is the other day. You note as you're looking at it, they was over in the 9 o'clock ish position.
Hmm.
When we go later throughout the day, and no, I'm just following the sun. I'm not tilting the camera over side. This is a little later that morning, anyhow. But throughout the day, it will the spots change to different spots. Not
Well, they don't change to different spots. They just look like they're in a
yeah,
different area, like a clock,
yeah,
going around
exactly.
like a clock because of the perception that we have. Right.
As it's moving north and south, but stationary in the firmament, and the firmament is moving, it will
Well, Book of Enoch says that it's going in and out of portals.
does
Okay,
notice
so it's not just stationary in the firmament if it's
it
going in and out of portals.
it does
We're gonna have an
summer,
argument,
winter,
guys.
spring.
Well, more than that, it's got like 7 portals that it does. So there, higher position there. These two, you get a timestamp on the actual images from the camera. That would be handy in the situation if you had a timestamp down.
Yeah, but also kind of, but
But this is the 29th now, I think. 52,
it tells you the
yeah,
time to kind of.
29th.
Now that's government time, so it's lying to you as far as
Oh, those are older
yep,
ones.
those are.
Anyway, you got an update. And so I am going to wrap this up because this is going to be crazy long. So thank you, and we will see y'all later.